Happy Sunday, fun day. Welcome everyone to No One Daily Bitcoin Pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. Also, breaking news. We got Brian Donalds introducing a bill to cement Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve into law, protecting it from future administrations. Let's go. Also, quoting Michael Saylor in a recent interview with Laura Trump on Fox, the real appeal of Bitcoin is people don't want to invest or risk their money. They want to save their money. So Bitcoiners would say, we are not investing, we're saving. It's a savings technology. Precisely. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin whale bets 368 million, 40x leverage on a Bitcoin decline ahead of the FOMC meeting. We'll also be discussing Libra, Melania's creator. Wolf of Wall Street meme coin crashes 99%, and the same dev, Hayden Davies, continues on his warpath. We'll also be discussing Rachel Maddow slams Trump and calls Bitcoin a scam. But she got 5 facts wrong. We'll be clearing this up, as well as 5 unbelievable ways Trump is unleashing Bitcoin's $1 trillion bull run. Also breaking news, is King Jong stacking sats? Is he stacking the biddy? Will North Korea's Bitcoin haul outranks El Salvador, Bhutan, and the U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve taking shape? We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much and more here on Sunday. Let's kick this mofo off. If you're new to the channel, very important, smash those likes. Come on now. Then go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including Sundays, just like this. Church is in session. I will be preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi for the next couple of hours. Let's blow up the stream. Today is pod episode 1935. I'm your host, JV. It's March 16th, 2025. And yesterday we were in the 84, 85 range. We dropped just a little bit here today, maintaining above 83,200 at the time at a live stream, and pulling up a little bit of Coin 360 for our market watch. We have Bitcoin, again, only down 1.3% in the day. Ether down 3%. Solana down 5%. Cardano down 6.6%. And XRP down 4%. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap is sitting at 2.71 trillion. Bitcoin market cap all the way down to $1.65 trillion. And as far as the market volume, we got 59 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance today coming in at 61% even, so it's on the decline. Ether dominance barely on the decline as well, 8.4% today. I think yesterday was like 8.5% even. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, we got BNX leading the pack, which reminds me of DMX, so rest in peace. X gonna give it to you. Literally 32% on the day. We also have Mantle up 8.6% and OKB up 5%. Let me know which alts, if any, you're bullish on for the bull. Holla at your motherfucking boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, the visual perspective on the day. Virtually everything in the blood red, unfortunately. Not a good look. And checking out the monthly, definitely not looking good. Good Lord. Safe to say 95% of the market wrecked. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. Today, we're a 30 in fear. Once we tap 25, that would be extreme fear. And the lower that number goes, the more likely of a pumpy pump. Yesterday was a 46, last week at 27, and last month a 48. Neutral. And checking out the Sun Chain calendar. We currently have 161,925 blocks until the next halving of 2028. And we're currently on block number 888,075. And I like those triple eights together. Infinity, 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 like the Ethereum max supply. And you can currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 1,185 sats to pick up the sats, put down the gas, pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. And if you don't know, now you know. Astrology for the broskies. So let's dive right in after the infamous freeze frame. So yeah, headline here, Bitcoin gets 126 June target as the data predicts a bull market comeback. And I'm going to be pulling up the live charts, and you'll see right in alignment with the weekly chart, which has had a very sexy target of around 124,000 on the charts literally for the past several months, which we cover every day. But yeah, April can spark 50% Bitcoin price upside. February was very disappointing. March, I mean, we're still halfway in the thick of it. But hopefully April, we explode. Bitcoin declined 30% after topping out mid-Jan. The extent of the drop is a characteristic of a bull market correction. Nothing new under the sun, right? Quoting analysts here, Bitcoin is trading near the low end of the historical seasonal range. Nearly all the biddies. Annual performance occurs in 2 months. and this is a fact, Jack, April and October, it is entirely possible Bitcoin will reach a new all-time high before June. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst. Peterson created various Bitcoin price metrics over the years. One of them is the lowest price forward and has successfully defined levels below which the biddy never falls after a crossing above them at a certain point. After its recovery from the multi-year lows in March of 2022, the lowest price forward predicted the biddy price would never trade under 10,000 ever again from September onwards. And meanwhile, a new likely floor level has appeared this year, 69 Gs. Now, I don't recall hitting 69. I know recently we just tapped 76, 77, but nonetheless, continuing, Peterson stipulated a medium target of 126 with a deadline of June 1st. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And alongside the chart showing a performance of $100 in Bitcoin, he also revealed that limp bull market performance has always been temporary. The Bitcoin average time below the trend equals 4 months. The red dotted trend line is outlined in this chart, shows 126,000 on June 1st. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Now, a standard Bitcoin bull market come down. And again, we just recently corrected all the way down to the 76, 77 range a few days ago. You guys let me know if you feel the bottom is in, or do you think we will likely possibly test those lower levels and dive even lower, as one of the analysts, what's his name? Arthur Hayes just Blaze has been predicting lower price action. But before I pull up some of the live charts, this was big news that came in yesterday. U.S. Rep. Byron Donalds introduces a bill to cement President Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve into law, protecting it from the future administrations. This is important because there can be a Democratic, party that takes office in 4 years and reverses everything Trump does. So this would actually cement it. So hopefully this bill passes. So I wrote, let's get or did. And other breaking news, Michael Saylor just recently was interviewed by Fox News by Laura Trump. Now, you guys tell me, is Laura Trump in any association to Donald Trump, or is it just a coincidence with the last name there? Honest question, because I don't know, but I did watch the interview nonetheless, and it's pretty good. It's like 10 minutes, 8 minutes, and quoting him here, the real appeal of Bitcoin is people don't want to invest or risk their money. They want to save their money. So Bitcoiners would say, we're not investing, we're saving. It's a savings technology. There you have it. Bitcoin is the safest bank out there, bar none. And with that being shared, again, welcome everyone join the live stream. I promise to pull up some of the live charts for our astrology for the broskies, of course, and shout out to our bitty baddies. Can't forget about them. This is a 1 hour chart, a lot of price action going on right now. Live chart action, Jackson satisfaction with JV. Rising wedge formation sensation. We also have a bull target sitting at 108,700 in the red on the 1 hour chart. We also have a blue target of 95,106 and a green target of 92,875. God candle away. And zooming out from the 1 hour, take a look at a 4 hour, and you can see some couple of bull targets here as well. The double bottom top is 113,702, which is obviously 4 or 5 grand above price discovery of 109, which we achieved all the way back in January 20th. And we also have the red target. 108.6 would take us right on the cusp of re-entering price discovery, which is a fancy name for all-time high. And zooming out, we check out the daily. And as you can see, a couple of bull targets here as well. Falling wedge formation, 115.7 in play. And we have a green target just under, it's hard to tell the difference there, 113,702. And zooming out from the daily, take a look at the weekly target. And this is going to coincide with the analysts calling for 126. As you can see here, a cup and handle target, which has been on the weekly chart for months and months, still sitting at 124,000. Past couple of weeks, we've had very bearish closes. We do get a new week close here today. Thus far, we're in the green, but I think we got less than a couple of hours before the weekly close, so it should happen while we're live. And zooming out from there, we'll take a quick look at the monthly. And the monthly, obviously, as you can see on your screen, we're forming a candle itty-bitty in the red for this month of March halfway through. February was a big corrective candle. January, itty-bitty green candle. And it was November we had the biggest bull candle we have ever seen. So hopefully we can repeat that pattern. Let's kick off our next story of the day, family. It's been interesting. There's been some, what we were been speculating, insider trading, going on. And Bitcoin Whale just recently bet 368 million with 40x leverage on a Bitcoin decline ahead of the FOMC. So what does this insider know that the rest of us don't know? Well, let's dive a little deeper. The Bitcoin Whale is betting hundreds of millions of dollars on a short-term decline of the Bitty price ahead of the pivotal week filled with key economic reports that could significantly influence the trajectory and investor risk appetite. The large crypto whale has opened a 40x leverage, which FYI is extremely risky. That's why many of us speculate it must be an insider. They must know something we don't know. For over 4,442 Bitcoin, worth 368 million, clearly not chump change, which functions as a de facto bet on the Bitcoin price fall. So in layman's terms, they're betting the price is going to go down a very significant amount of money, 368 million. Leverage positions use borrowed money to increase the size of the investment, hence the leverage, which can boost the size of both gains and losses, making leverage trading riskier compared to regular investment positions. The Bitcoin Whale opened the 368 million position at 84,000 and faces liquidation if the Bitcoin price surpasses 85.5, which can happen in a moment's instance. I mean, what's a 1% up or down volatility? We see it all the time. It can go 5-10% one way or the other, but it just goes to show you to place that much money on a risky bet like that. And so far he's correct because we're all the way down to 83, so he's winning. The investor generated already over 2 million in unrealized profit, and he has an over 200,000 loss on his position's funding fees. Jeez Louise. Now, despite the heightened risks of leveraged trading, some crypto investors are making significant profits with this strategy. Far and few in between. Let's just keep it real. Majority of leveraged traders are getting wrecked, just like the majority of the people go to the casino and play slot machines. Yeah, a certain percentage are going to win. Of course, the sharks, but most people are going to lose. So don't think you can quit your day job and become a full-time levered trader. It's not going to turn out so great. The savvy trader, but here in this example, gained 68 million on 50x leverage, short position, banking on Ether's 11% price decline. That's typically a good bet, betting that Ether, the price is going to go down. Can't blame them there. The levered bet comes ahead of the week of numerous significant macroeconomic releases, including the upcoming FOMC meeting on March 19th. So that would mean 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's going to be Wednesday, hump day, which may impact investor appetite for the risk assets, such as a pretty low bitty. Now, Bitcoin price continues to risk significant downside due to volatility and growing macroeconomic uncertainty around the global trade tariffs. To avoid downside volatility ahead of the FOMC, Bitcoin will need a weekly close above 81. So currently we're above 81. And again, we're going to get the weekly close in about 90 minutes. Now, according to Ryan Lee, chief analyst at BitGet, the key level to watch for the weekly close is the 81 range. Holding above that would signal resilience. But if we see a drop below 76, it could invite more short-term selling. That's common sense. Because again, if we break the current recent bottom, then we're likely to continue to correct lower. And I dare say if that breaks, then 69 is going to be retested next. The analyst comments come a day before the next FOMC meeting, again, which is midweek, Wednesday. Markets are currently pricing in a 98% chance the Fed will keep the interest rates steady, according to the CME Group's Fed Watch tool, as outlined right there. Now, analyst also says the market largely expects the Fed to hold the rate steady, but any unexpected hawkish signals could put the pressure on the bitty as well as the risk assets. And if you don't know, now you know, broskies. And again, welcome everyone to the live stream. So next story, we discussed the 40x whale. Now let's discuss the meme coin scheme. That's right. Libra, Melania creators, Wolf of Wall Street meme coin crashed 99%. Not surprised, motherfrickers. That's right. The creator of Libra token launched another meme coin with some of the same concerning on-chain patterns that pointed to significant insider trading activity ahead of the coin's 99% collapse. Not a good look. Now, Hayden Davis, I've seen an interview with him with CoffeeZilla. He was the one behind the Melania coin launch and the Libra token launch. And it seems the same group of people are behind many of these meme coin launches. Now, they launched a new Solana-based meme coin with an over 80% insider supply. Not surprised. We all know the insiders get rich on these launches and the retail makes them rich. Davis launched the Wolf meme coin back on March 8th, so a week ago, banking on rumors of Jordan Belfort, known for the Wolf of Wall Street, launching his own token. The token reached a peak of 42 million market cap. However, 82% of the Wolf token supply was bundled under the same entity, according to the post by Bubble Maps outline here, like online investigative software type. But anyways, the bubble map reveals something strange. Wolf had the same pattern as Hood, a token also launched by Hayden Davis. We got to stop this Hayden Davis dude, you know what I mean? Was he behind this one too? The blockchain analytics platform revealed transfers across 17 different addresses stemming back to the address owned by Davis. He funded these wallets months before Libra and Wolf launched, moving money through 17 addresses and 2 chains. Interesting. So they trace it all back. The Wolf meme coin lost, and let me know if you even heard of it. I never even saw it or heard of it. Meme coin lost 99% of its value within 2 days. Again, not surprised. From the peak of 42.9 million, market cap March 8th at 4 a.m. To just 570,000. Imagine that, from 43 million to 570,000, just like that. Insiders took their profits. Retail got wrecked. Next meme coin, please. Davies' latest token launch comes week after the Libra token collapse, where 8 insider wallets cashed out on $107 million in liquidity, leading to a $4 billion market cap wipeout within hours. The Libra token turned into a political issue, with Argentine President Javier Milei risking impeachment after his endorsement of the Libra coin. Yeah, not a good look, Javier. You shouldn't endorse the shit coins. Argentine lawyer Gregorio asked the Interpol red notice to be issued for Davis, citing a procedural risk if Davis remained free, as he could access a vast amount of that money that would allow him to either flee the U.S. or go into hiding. And in his own words, again, I watched the 1-hour CoffeeZilla interview with this guy, Davis, and he says he had access to over the $100 million, which was ultimately sniped or collected from the Libra launch, and he didn't know what to do with it. So it's very sus, the fact he's launching additional meme coins and people are being scammed. And I think somebody should do something about it. Meme coins are turning against crypto's fundamental ethos of decentralization, becoming increasingly used to exploit retail investors amid the growing number of the rug pulls. According to the co-founder and CEO of Ethereum, they say meme coins have evolved from community-driven social experiments into a chaotic landscape dominated by value extraction from the retail investors. Insider rings, pump and dump schemes, and sniper groups have replaced the organic, collectible nature of the original meme coins, creating the unhealthy playing field. So you already know. Investors will also need to distinguish between meme coins that can be seen as genuine collectibles and outright fraudulent activities. Now, I dare say there's no such thing as a fucking genuinely collectible meme coin. I could be wrong, but we comparing this meme coin to like a rare Pokemon now? Like, come on. Come on, guys. In my view, these activities should fall firmly within the jurisdiction of law enforcement agencies, but here's the kicker. The SEC recently came out and they said they're not enforcing meme coins. As long as they disclose that ultimately they're a scam, then the retail have every right to purchase the scam. Ironic as that is. But there you have it. There's going to be many more meme coins to come. Mark my words. Just stay clear of them. Unless you're launching your own and you have your own group of insiders, and you can get wealthy legally in the United States, which is fascinating if you're to ask me. You know, this one woman nobody likes, and my apologies, it could be a man. I honestly can't tell the difference. But she goes by the name of Rachel Maddow, and she slammed Trump and called Bitcoin a scam. It just goes to show you how desperate the mainstream, or as I coined it, lamestream, are reacting to Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, breaking news, MSNBC host Rachel Maddow calls Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve a deeply old-fashioned, simple scam. She draws a striking comparison between crypto and Beanie Babies, saying cryptos operate on the same idea. They have no inherent value at all, but people speculate. So yeah, no comment. But this is the level of idiocracy we're dealing with. But Trump signed the executive order, which we all know. I believe that was on March 7th. White House crypto czar David Sachs said the U.S. will not sell any Bitcoin deposited into the reserve. It'll be kept as a store of value. And the reserve is like a digital Fort Knox for crypto, which we refer to Bitcoin specifically as digital gold. It's worth looking at this crypto thing just a little bit, Maddow said on her show, only because it is a deeply, deeply old-fashioned simple scam. And at this point, which points right to the White House. Here's what Maddow said about Bitcoin and what she got wrong. Number one, unlike beanies, Bitcoin price goes up. That's right. Hopefully, the broad strokes of crypto trading are not complicated, Maddow said. It's like when there were Beanie Baby craze in the late 90s. It was a Beanie Baby trading bubble, she explained. Other than some emotional value, if you had one as a child, the Beanie Babies did not have much inherent value. But it was worth buying up a bunch of them because there was speculation on the premise that it was a collectible. Maybe one day your Beanie Baby collection would be worth a lot of money. this is the level of retardation we deal with. There is, however, a key difference between Bitcoin and Beanie Babies. Beanie Babies debuted in 93. Yo, I remember when I worked at McDonald's, it was one of the shit we gave away. I don't remember if it was in a Happy Meal, but that was like back in the good old days. Wow. But yeah, they didn't really last so long. No one talks about Beanie Babies no longer. So I think that's what she's trying to say. Bitcoin is just like, it's just this phase, just this bubble. People forget about it. Okay. Following the dot-com crash of 2000, the auction price frenzy of the babies never recovered those levels ever again. And are we seriously in 2025 comparing Bitcoin to Beanie Babies? The only thing I could think of that was worse is when Mark Cuban was anti-Bitcoin a long time ago before he embraced crypto, and he was trying to convince people to stay away from it. And he literally had the balls and the audacity to compare Bitcoin to bananas, saying bananas had more intrinsic value than Bitcoin because unlike Bitcoin, you can eat a banana. Unlike Bitcoin, you can eat the banana. Again, this is the idiocracy we've been dealing with. Number 2, Beanie Baby markets are not liquid or transparent. Cryptos operate on the same idea, according to Rachel Maddow. She said they have no inherent value at all. The only value they have is that if you have, for some reason, to believe that somebody else might want to buy them from you in the future, ultimately meaning maybe you'll find a bigger sucker and you can profit off of that. But obviously, it's not true that cryptos operate in the same idea as a toy in fashion mania, or that assets like Bitcoin have no inherent value. There's a reason Trump is embracing it. There's a reason Michael Saylor has 500,000 Bitcoin. There's a reason the largest asset manager in the world, BlackRock, has 600,000 Bitcoin, because they're not motherfucking Beanie Babies. But I digress. Beanie Babies are not durable and fungible like crypto. Well, according to Miss Maddows, it is. Beanie Babies are not durable and fungible like crypto. Who wants something else stuffed or a toy? Exactly. And again, pretty stupid argument. But Beanie Babies are not scarce like Bitcoin. Correct. Because in China, you can produce probably 1 billion new Beanie Babies a day. There's no scarcity. Bitcoin is digital gold. So how, again, why am I even entertaining this argument? And number 5, Bitcoin commands real demand, not just motherfucking hype. And as I shared with you earlier, this is what she had to say. Imagine Trump just announced that the U.S. government was going to buy up a ton of Beanie Babies. We are going to establish a Federal Reserve of billions of Beanie Babies. No, let's not pretend that's what Trump is going to do. That's what your retarded ass is suggesting, you idiot. But she also says, what do you think will happen to the value of the Beanie Babies? Turns out there's a huge guaranteed buyer for these things. They're buying billions of them. I digress. I don't really have to add no more to that. But quoting the great Max Kaiser, no one jerks off to Rachel Maddow. And that's coming from the Book of Max, who's one of our prophets. That was like the stupidest article I've ever entertained. But again, this is actually real life. This is actually, that's like a real story. So is what it is. But let's continue preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi, shall we? Now that we destroyed the stupid mad cow Rachel FUD, let's dive into this Trump headline, and then we'll discuss the global hash war going on right now between North Korea and the United States of America. So yeah, 5 unbelievable ways Trump is unleashing the Bitcoin $1 trillion bull run. And let's start with, is it listed in? Yep, we'll go right to number 1. Number 1, digital asset stockpile. Trump and some Republicans like Lummis have been talking about a national Bitcoin reserve for months. That's right, since mid last year. The president promised he would deliver one on the campaign trail. Then after taking office, he pivoted to calling it the digital asset stockpile, hinting he would include the other cryptos in the reserve. Then the first week of March, he announced that the U.S. would stockpile XRP, Ether, Solana, and Cardano, in addition to the Biddy. And after that, he signed the executive order establishing a federal digital asset stockpile, which was on March 6th. And the next day, he held the first ever White House Crypto Summit. Times Magazine said the crypto industry is in charge now. And co-founder of Chainlink, Sergey, said the government representatives expressed that there has been a negative regime, obviously, Operation Choke Point 2.0 in the Biden administration, Harris and Warren and all the goons, Gensler. The crypto industry that the regime is now coming to an end. There's significant shift and huge amounts of support. Number 2, the Fort Knox audit. I'm big on Trump's itinerary this year. Itinerary is the highly anticipated visit with Elon to Fort Knox to inspect the gold reserves. My speculation is the gold reserves are missing, and in the interim, they're putting the gold back where it should have been this entire time before they do the audit. But that's just my theory. Let me know your thoughts. Washington reportedly not checked in a decades, 50 years, 5 decades, to count up to 400 billion gold stockpile. And according to the U.S. Mint, there's about 147 million ounces of gold in the ultra-secure facility there. And interestingly, Trump and Musk continue to repeat that line that they are going there to check if the gold is even there in the first place or if it has been stolen. And of course, I believe they know the answer. They know it's not there, and they're just buying time to put it there so they can act like everything's fine. But again, that's just my theory. Speaking on the Joe Rogan program on February 28th, Musk said a live tour of Fort Knox would be awesome, and I volunteered to do the live stream and show you guys. So they should put me up in there with the Nipinator. Should they not? Is there a gold there or not? Maybe there's a little bit. Maybe there's something that looks like real gold there. But if it was all there, I'd be freaking shocked. They say it is real, or did somebody spray paint some lead? Yeah, a common trick they do is tungsten, which is a cheap metal as heavy as gold, and then they just spray paint it or maybe even plate it with gold on the outside to make it look like the real thing. I would not be surprised if it's a bunch of fake gold sitting there, if it's even sitting there to begin with. Again, just JV's theory. He previously tweeted looking for the gold at Fort Knox, and it's gone. Exactly. This gold is the property of the American people. I sure hope it is still there. Well, if the government's notorious from robbing from the American people, would you not be ignorant to assume it was there if it hasn't been audited in 50 motherfucking years? Trump said we're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there because maybe somebody stole the gold. If they wanted to do this properly, they would have did the audit without announcing it to the rest of the world. That's why I think they're all in on it. Personally, I trust nobody except Satoshi and Nipinator, but that's just me again. It's a strong talking point in favor of Bitcoin as digital gold because unlike gold, Web3 keeps track of the digital assets on the blockchain 24 hours a day in real time. Number 3, Federal Reserve audit. Yeah, if we're going to audit Mt. Gox, let's audit the Fed, and let's also audit the IRS and abolish it while we're at it, right? A Federal Reserve audit would be the holy grail of the sound money movement in the United States. 12-term consecutive Ron Paul and his army of internet supporters, have advocated it for years. Musk is reportedly pushing Paul for Federal Reserve chair. In February, the Doge officer said, all aspects of the government must be fully transparent and accountable to the people. No exceptions, including, if not especially, the Federal Reserve. There's nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. That's the problem. Fed Chairman Jay Powell said such an audit would be designed to be a step on the way of eliminating the Fed. Well, let's get rid of those suckers, shall we? While that would be an unlikely scenario, the chair's concern shows seriousness of the blockchain's industry ascendancy. With the support of the Trump admin, the blockchain ethos of transparency and accountability is putting pressure like never before for the central banking system in the United States of America. But we all know central bankers run the world. Meanwhile, the Fed is stuck on pause with the interest rates. The establishment now understands that every time it lowers the rates, Bitcoin price soars. So do you think they'll continue to lower the rate? Probably not. At least according to the Fed group tool we shared earlier, 98% chance they do not do that here this week on Wednesday at the FOMC. But number 4, White House AI, crypto czar, must be referring to David Sachs. So when he was still opposed to crypto, Trump cited concerns about unlawful behavior. Y'all remember the Bitcoin FUD. I never forget an enemy of Bitcoin. And at one point, he was clearly an enemy of Bitcoin and other illegal activity. And while he was still president, Obama compared Bitcoin to a Swiss bank account in your pocket. Nailed it, Brock. However, the U.S. and global law enforcement agencies have found that the openness and transparency of the blockchain make it far easier to investigate financial crimes and frauds using crypto than working with corporate banksters. The evidence of the crimes reveals a trail of the blockchain. As you know, everything is on the blockchain. So it's not advantageous for criminals to be using crypto. It's advantageous for criminals to use the American dollar. Why? It's just easy to get away with your crime. But anyways, yeah, David Sachs is the new crypto czar, and he's very pro crypto, and he allegedly sold 200 million of personal cryptocurrency before he took the position, as we covered in yesterday's episode. And number 5, the crypto-friendly SEC. So far, the federal scrum to regulate cryptos. Yeah, long story short, Jay Clayton was anti-crypto, chairman of the SEC. Previous, Gary Gensler, his predecessor, also was an enemy of crypto. And for the first time in history, we have the Nippinator as the new chair of the SEC, who is very pro Bitcoin in particular. So give it up for the Nippinator as we get the next Nippinator indicator. All right, now for our feature story of the day. Is Kim Jong stacking sats? North Korea's Bitcoin haul outranks El Salvador, the Kingdom of Bhutan, as U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve takes shape. So let's break this baby down, shall we? Look at this guy. What a handsome man. But anyways, North Korea has quietly climbed the ranks to become a top government holder of the biddy, thanks to the antics of the Lazarus Group, a hacking collective tied to the state. On February 21st, the group pulled off the jaw-dropping heist at Bybit, stealing over $1.4 billion worth of crypto, mostly Ethereum, and later swapping a chunk of it into Bitcoin, the hardest asset that ever exists. Now, data from Arcam reveals the syndicate now sits on 13,562 BTC, worth a cool 1.14 billion, turning the cybercrime into a national piggy bank, as you can see right here. Now, the crypto stash started growing long before the U.S. floated the strategic Bitcoin reserve idea, yet in a twist of timing, the buildup accelerated just days before Trump teased the strategic Bitcoin reserve on Sunday, March 2nd. He made it official by signing the executive order on Thursday, March 6th, and added a dash of geopolitical intrigue to the digital currency drama. Arcam reported the U.S. sits pretty with 198,109 Bitcoin, a significant 16 billion, making it the largest government holder of Bitcoin. But you guys got to keep in mind that roughly 100,000 of that Bitcoin does not belong to the U.S. government. It belongs to the retail who got hacked from one of those big hacks. I think it's Mt. Gox, or if not Mt. Gox, then it is the other one. What's the big exchange? I'll think of the name later, Bitfinex. So that means the government doesn't really own that Bitcoin in the first place, but I digress. The United Kingdom claims that the silver medal with 61,000 Bitcoin, making them number 2, which is roughly 5 billion. While the UK hasn't hinted at launching its own strategic Bitcoin reserve, it stacked up crypto spoils through criminal seizures, which is exactly how governments acquire Bitcoin. They steal it from the stealers, but why don't they just return it to the investors or the retail who lost it? It's mind-boggling to me, but giving it a hefty stake of the digital top asset, this slots North Korea right behind Britain, but ahead of the Kingdom of Bhutan and El Salvador's Bitcoin caches. Bhutan's stash, managed by Druck Holdings, clocks in at 10,600 Bitcoin, worth 897 million, while El Salvador's Bitcoin stash is now up to 6,117 BTC, now valued at $516 million. The timing of North Korea's crypto climb, just as the U.S. unveiled the strategic Bitcoin reserve, sparks a little curiosity. Could King Kim Jong-un be angling for a seeded digital gold rush, blending the cyber savvy with the geopolitical gamesmanship? And while Washington frames its reserve as strategic, their playbook leans on shadows, turning stolen coins into a silent power move. Two nations, one token, a high-stakes dance of value in digits where motives blur between policy and piracy. And if you don't know, now you know. Now, Max Kaiser actually coined the term global hash war, and that's what we're witnessing as countries around the world are all racing to compete in stacking sats. Why is that? 21 million finite limited supply. There can only be one Bitcoin superpower in the world when it comes to a nation. Will it be the United States? Will it be the Kingdom of Bhutan? Will it be El Salvador, who had the first mover's advantage? Or could it be a Russia? Could it be a China? You guys let me know, and I'll read your comments out loud. Welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream.